everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's your legal bestie here, and today we're talking about how a foreigner can register a local company in Nigeria, or how a foreign entity can register a subsidiary and to operate legally in Nigeria. So, before any company or any foreign company can legally operate in Nigeria, there's several requirements and several, licenses that they need to obtain before they can legally operate in Nigeria. So the first step is the registration with the Corporate Affairs Commission. That is the body that is, vested with the power to register companies and keep, regulate, the workings of companies. Now that first stage is involves three steps, and the first step is the availability and reservation of name. The second step is the application and registration of the company, and the third step is the approval. Now, for the availability and reservation of name, what the company needs to do is to apply for availability and reservation to check if the company that they want to register already has a similar company registered, or is offensive, or they have, the same name with another company. So what the CSA has done, which has made it very easy now, is that you can get an instant availability approval. So once you put in the company name, you will see whether the company is available for registration or not. Once the name is registered, you have 60 days. That's a maximum of 60 days. Now, within that time frame of 60 days, the company must be registered. If it is not registered, then the name will automatically expire and somebody else will be allowed to use it. So you have, the time frame of 60 days to register the company. Now, the second step is the application and registration. That is where you'll be required to fill in all, details of the proposed directors, proposed shareholders, and then the object of the company, what the objects will be, which will most likely be similar with what the foreign company already has in their own country. And then you already know that the share capital is nothing less than 100 million. So the share capital of the company must be 100 million. That's the minimum. It can be more, but it cannot be less. So after the registration and everything has been done, what will happen is that the CAC will now do their own verification and check if it is okay for them to approve it. Once it is approved, then you can now download your certificate of registration and then your memo and then the status report of the company. And usually, right, you would instantly get a TIN, which is your tax identification number for the company, which is at the lower bottom of the certificate of incorporation. So you want to look out for that. So now the second step is the registration with the Nigerian Investment and Promotion Commission, also known as NIPSI. So after you've registered your company at the Corporate Affairs Commission, you have to get, a license from the NIPSI. Now, after registration with CAC, which is very compulsory, the business will be registered with NIPSI before they can legally commence business in Nigeria. Now, the whole role of NIPSI is to promote, to encourage, and coordinate investment in Nigerian economy. So for a foreigner to come and register a business in Nigeria, most definitely it is presumed that they are trying to invest in the Nigerian market, and there is no way they are setting up a business in Nigeria without employing locals. So which is bringing also job opportunity for the locals, which is also an investment. So the company would have to file the relevant application form, pay the statutory fees, let them know who the directors and shareholders are, and pay the legal fees. Once that is done, NIPSI will issue them a certificate of business registration for the company, so they are okay to start doing business in Nigeria. So once they have gotten their NIPSI registration license, the third step, for the foreign company is to get a business permit, an expatriate quota, and a working permit. Now, a company wishing to operate in Nigeria must first of all obtain a business permit from the Nigerian Ministry of Interior. They must also obtain an expatriate quota and a working permit for anybody that they need to employ. Now, the expatriate quota really is for the company. The expatriate quota quota allows the company to, invite foreigners to come and work in Nigeria. And then once they invite the foreigners, they will also be issued like, a working permit for that foreigner to be able to work in Nigeria. So the expatriate quota, like I said, is issued, to the company, and it is also given to the foreign national. Once that is approved, the expatriate quota, the expatriate or the foreigner is issued is with what we call SEPAC. SEPAC is also known as combined expatriate resident permit and aliens card, which allows the employee to reside and work in Nigeria legally. So once the company has gotten the SEPAC for their foreign nationals and also, for their company, the fourth step is to get a specialized operating license. Now, this will depend on the particular business, that the company intends to do. Now, for companies intending to carry out operations in specialized sectors, there are requirements to obtain operating licenses from the appropriate, government bodies. Now, if they want to do any business that is in regards, to petroleum or oil and gas sector, they have to get a license from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. If they are going into the telecommunications department or sector, they would have to get a license from the NCC, that's the Nigerian Communications Commission. Now, if they want to do business with anything that has to do with the financial sector, you already know that they must get a license from the central bank. If they are doing anything as to mining or mining minerals or solid minerals, then they would have to go to the Ministry of Mines and Steel. And if they are doing anything that has to do with pharmaceuticals, or they want to do anything that is edible, something that people put in their mouth, or drinks or water, whatever it is, they will most definitely have to get a license from NAFDAC. That's the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control in Nigeria. So this list is not exhaustive, right? It depends on the particular specialized business that the foreign company would most likely do. So if you're doing any business, you want to know that, your lawyer will be the one to properly, advise you as to the sector of where you need to get the license. So, in conclusion, any business or foreign company that wants to do business in Nigeria and operate, in Nigeria has to first of all get registered, at the Corporate Affairs Commission. After they have gotten, their approval and their certificate of registration, then they must get a NIPSI registration. And that NIPSI registration is basically to regulate and promote investment, in Nigeria. Once they've gotten their NIPSI approval, the next stage would be for them to get their expatriate quota, or what I call, SEPAC, alien card, and their working permit for foreign nationals that they seek to invite, or foreigners who are coming to work and live in Nigeria. So I also said, to just round it all up, that it depends on the specialized business that the company wants to do. Now, the specialized business will now determine the last specialized or the license that they are supposed to get. Once they get that license, then they are good to go. They are ready, to start doing business in Nigeria. If this video was helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and put on your notification bell so each time I post a video, you get notified. Don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section, and then I will answer it. Thank you guys.